The Fuji Instax Mini 12 is super easy to use, which makes it one of my favorite instant film cameras for beginners, for parties and events like weddings. You know, it's just a great camera that gets out of your way and lets you take some pictures. So let's learn how to use this thing. So the first step is you need to put batteries in there. So this little compartment opens up and batteries go in right there. Now, I recommend using lithium-ion rechargeable batteries rather than traditional AA alkaline batteries because, let's face it, you're not using your camera every single day. And if you leave your batteries in there for months, maybe years at a time, alkalines are going to leak and they're going to ruin your camera. Ask me how I know. I've ruined a lot of Fuji Instax cameras over the years. So once you get the batteries in there, just slide the cover back on and boom, you're ready to go. Now the next step is to insert the film in the back compartment. Now you can look through this little window to see if there's already film in there. If you see a little yellow line, that means there's already a pack of film in there, and you're going to want to look at the little number counter down here, and that lets you know how many frames are left. So if this is 0 and you see a piece of film in there, then you're good to take the film out and put new film in there. If the window is empty, this little thing down here will probably say S, and you can open it up then and replace the film too. Now this camera uses Fuji Instax Mini film. It does not use Fuji Instax wide, square, or Polaroid film. None of those formats will work. You need to get Fuji Instax Mini film specifically. And that comes in two variants, color and monochrome. Both work with the camera, both are great. Now open your pack of film, and then you're going to open this back compartment. You're going to use this little notch here. You're going to open it up. Put the film in, make sure it's facing the correct way. You'll know by the yellow marker up in the top corner being facing up. And then you'll close the back hinge. And you'll feel a little bit of resistance when you close the back hinge because there's prongs actually that push the film in. So don't worry about that, just crunch it closed. Now once you put the film in here, you're going to want to eject the dark slide, which is the piece of plastic that protects the film before you shot it. So to do that, all you're going to do is turn the camera on by switching it over to on, and you'll just fire the shutter button. And then the dark slide will pop out of the top and you're good to go. Now, old veterans of film cameras will know that once you put a pack of film in there, you don't want to open the camera back until you're completely done, or else you might blow out the film by exposing it to light. So just wait till the number counter gets to 0, and that's when you're going to want to replace your film. Now with the film and batteries installed, you're pretty much ready to take a photo. So the next step is to switch from off to on, just using this little ring, and you'll feel it snap into place, and you know the camera is ready when you have a solid orange little LED light up here at the top. You use the viewfinder, frame your shot, press the shutter, press down, and there you go. Picture's going to emerge from the top, and you have taken your first Instax Mini picture. Now, despite what Outcast may have told you, you don't need to shake this, you don't need to do anything with it, just set it aside and wait for the image to emerge. Now, this camera also has a close-up mode, so to get to that, you switch from off to on to close-up. Now, unhelpfully, the camera doesn't really say what is considered close-up, but basically anything within arm's reach. It's really designed for selfies, which we will get into, but close-up is made for about, let's say, 2 feet away, like anything that, you know, a single person portrait, stuff like that, that's going to be what you want the close-up for. And the viewfinder actually adjusts itself to help you frame for objects that are close. Now, keep in mind, this isn't macro mode, so you're not going to be able to take a picture of like a tiny flower or something and fill up the frame. It really is just for like a single headshot portrait. You'll frame up your shot, press the shutter button, and your picture will emerge from the top. Now for selfie mode, which is also close-up mode. So you go into the same mode as you did before. You go from off to on to close-up. There's a little mirror on the barrel of the lens, and that's actually there to help you frame up selfie shots. You're going to want to hold the camera out as far as you can get. So your arm fully extended, not like halfway, or else you might get a blurry image. It really can't focus that close. So if you can get it like 2 feet away or farther, that's going to be your best bet. Once you're framed up in a little mirror on it, hit the shutter button. There you go. You got your picture. Once you're done taking photos, make sure you switch the camera to off, and that allows the lens to collapse, covers up the lens, protects everything. You can just stash this in your bag. Now, remember, if you are using alkalines between the events and parties and whatever you want to take the camera to, store the camera with no batteries inside. It's really easy to forget. It's easy to leave them in and be like, oh, I'm going to use it in like a few weeks. But then a few weeks becomes a few months, maybe a few years, and you got leaked batteries and it ruins your camera. And yeah, that's it. This camera is super easy to use. There's not a lot of advanced functionality, but this is a Fuji Instax Mini camera. It's meant to be fun. If you're really enjoying using this camera and you want to try some other stuff, you want to get a little bit more serious with it, there are other camera formats that you can jump to, like Fuji Instax Square, super fun to use. I love Polaroid personally. And those frames are a lot larger than Fuji Instax Mini, which allows you to have more detail, have more experimentation, do more control with the camera. But this is just a great place to start. And like I said, it's my favorite camera for weddings, parties, events, anything like that. So good luck out there and happy shooting.